What's going on YouTube? Chris Olar is back with another video, and today we are doing the Arsenal versus West Brom preview. So Arsenal versus West Brom, it's a meaningless game. You know, we had an embarrassing exit to the from the Europa League semi-final, second leg against Villarreal. You know, I've put a reaction up on my channel, so if you want to have a look at that, feel free. But yeah, like I said, this game is pretty meaningless. I mean, looking at the table, we probably will overtake Leeds into ninth. I don't see us catching Everton, and if we can't catch Everton, we're not going to finish in the top 7 for any Europa League. We're definitely not going to finish in top 4. I mean, it's mathematically impossible. Even if it wasn't, we weren't going to finish in the top 4. So there's no Champions League for us. So what are we playing for? Pride? To make up for Thursday? Not really. You know, you can't make up for Thursday. It is what it is, and Pride, their man haven't. None of the players have even apologised for what happened on Thursday, but it is what it is. This, like I said, it's a meaningless game for us. It's a meaningless game for West Brom. So, you know, that just means Arsenal are probably going to go out there and hit 4 goals past West Brom. There's no pressure on the line. You know, it's back end of the season, nothing to play for. Yeah, so there isn't much. I'm pretty sure West Brom, if I go and have a look, they're 19th. Wow, they're 19th, 26 points, confirmed to be relegated. There's no way in hell they're not. There's no way in hell they're gonna win 4 out of 4 games, while Burnley lose all of their games, and yeah, it's not happening, is it? But I'm gonna show you the lineup that I would like to see. So here I've got the lineup that I'd like to see, against West Brom. Honestly, there's nothing to play for, but at the same time, you know, I do want to see certain players in the team. You know, this season is dead, so I want to look ahead of next season, or look ahead to next season. I want to see some players that I would like to feature next season that are definitely going to be here at the club. So in goal, I've gone with Ryan. Hearing reports that Leno doesn't want to be at the club anymore, that he wants to leave. He's told his agent that he wants to find a new club, and if that is the case, then so be it. Personally, my thoughts on Leno are that he isn't good enough for where we want to be. I'm not blaming the season on him. That's like everyone in the whole club should be held accountable for this horrible season. Not just one player, not just one guy. The coach, every single one of the players, the recruitment, the board. Everyone's accountable for this horrible season, possibly the worst season we've had within the last 20, 30 years, which is crazy. But yeah, I went off on a tangent there. So yeah, just put Ryan in goal. I do believe he is a decent backup. We can get him for free, sign him permanently in the summer, and if that's the case, bring him in. He's not really made any mistakes. He supports the club, so he seems, I don't want to say he seems happy to be on the bench, because no one seems happy to be on the bench. I'm sure he respects himself and will challenge for number 1. But, you know, he seems more than happy that he might not be number 1, but he'll get his chance to prove it, and, you know, hasn't really put a foot wrong this season. Cedric at right back, he's not first team quality, but I believe he's better than Bellerin. Or he's more stable than Bellerin. You know, Bellerin has up and down games. Sometimes he's a complete liability, sometimes. But yeah, like I said, Bellerin is a bit dodgy. He's another player who might be on his way out. You know, Fabrizio Romano, who's confirmed that he is definitely leaving. We'll see it when it happens, but stick Cedric there. He's not played in a minute, and he's definitely going to be here next season. So yeah, play him. Chambers and Gabriel, no-brainer for me. I mean, besides the fact that Louise is injured, Mary's injured, who I don't want to see. I don't want to see Holding. Gabriel's been possibly our best centre-back this season. It's either him or Louise. Chambers can play centre-back. He had a decent game. I'm not going to say very good game, because he wasn't really challenged against Newcastle. But, you know, Chambers is definitely more technically gifted than Holding. In my opinion, he's he's a better ball-playing centre-back than Holding. And will probably complement Gabriel, which is something we've been missing. I know our fan base love to say that, behind Louise and Gabriel, Holding and Mary are our second best centre back partnership. So whenever Luis is injured, we shouldn't play Gabriel. But I think that's a load of rubbish, to be honest. Gabriel is our first or second best centre back, and you should be finding someone to complement him. And just because Holding doesn't complement him and somehow Holding and Mari is better than Holding and Gabriel, doesn't mean that Gabriel should be the one missing out because we suffer as a team. You find someone in the squad that complements Gabriel. And I believe Chambers can do it, to be fair. So, play Chambers and Gabriel, please. Tierney is almost a no-brainer. We have no idea how fit he is, but he played like 70 minutes on Thursday and didn't get injured. So, I'd like to think he's fit for this game. I mean, we haven't got any other games in the season. So, you know, if he plays left back, if he's able to play him. If he's not able to play, then put Cedric left back and Bellerin right back. It's not too deep. This game, we've got nothing to play for. Partey, play him in the middle. You know, he's our best centre mid. He's going to be here next season. So just play him. There's no Xhaka. I don't really want to sit on Nini, but he might play him. He might play Partey and El Nini. So I've stuck Aziz in there. I don't think he's going to get a start. Like, I'm not banking on it, but you know, I've never really watched the guy closely, and you know, he gets a lot of hype from our fans, especially on Twitter. So, you know, play him in this game. Give the fans something to be excited about. You know, like, I've never seen him. I want to see more of him. I believe he signed a professional contract now, and he has been in the first team, like on the bench occasionally. He plays in the under-23, so I have no idea if he'll even be available for selection for this game. But yeah, like, if he's available, why not play him? Don't play Ceballos, who's not going to be here next season, who's literally come out and said he's going to go back to La Liga, go back to Real Madrid. Like, he's been saying that this season a lot. Like, don't do that. Don't disappoint the fans more than you have this season. Give a start to one of the players that we have at the club that is definitely going to be here next season, preferably one of the youth players. Saka right wing, no brainer for me, to be honest. You know, he's been one of our top performers this season. He's not been having the best of form as of late, but just play him, please. You know, to be fair, you can play Pepe there. I'm not going to be too like disheartened if you want to play Pepe right wing, but I would go for Saka. Emil Smith-Rowe in behind the striker. You know, he was probably one of the only people, maybe Pepe as well, that were actually trying to do something on Thursday, who weren't completely hiding from the ball. I mean, he didn't have the best of performances, but you know, he's only 20 now. He needs as many games under his belt as possible while, you know, being injury free. So yeah, play the lad, you know. Martinelli left wing. Honestly disappointed that he didn't start on Thursday, and then when we brought him on, you know, it was a bit of a random roll of the dice, a desperate roll of the dice. He really couldn't do much, and that's not really his fault. We only had one man in midfield. We weren't able to sustain any like sort of decent attacks. But yeah, just play Martinelli. Give him as many minutes as possible. You know, it's now a pressure-free zone. So yeah, give him the minutes to develop, and I'm sure he will eat against West Brom. And striker Balogun. Again, I have no idea who played for the under-23s. I probably should have had a look. I did my research before the game, but I'd go for Balogun if he's fit and available to play, just because Lacazette is probably not going to be here next season. Same for Nketiah, he's probably not going to be here next season. Just give Aubameyang a break. Like, he's not chasing a golden boot or anything. So, you know, reward the boy. He's just signed his 4-year deal at the club after a long period of, you know, I wouldn't even say it's him, but it's probably his agent flirting with other clubs, like threatening the club with leaving to a different club just because he wasn't getting game time. But, you know, that's finally over. We all know Balogun is a decent talent. I'm not going to say a top talent because, you know, we've got to wait for him to actually play. And under-23 ability doesn't always translate into top flight football. But, you know, play the guy. We need to see what he's capable of. And in a meaningless game, you know, why wouldn't you play him? But yeah, that's the lineup that I would go for. Like, don't play that rubbish 4-1-4-1 formation or 4-3-3. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that formation, and it could be successful in the future, but you need the right players to play it. You can't just randomly pluck it out of the air and expect the players to perform in that formation when, you know, they're not familiar with it. But I guess his hand was kind of forced. You know what? Was it actually forced? Was it actually forced? I don't want to talk too much about it because I had a match reaction where I could have, you know, got all these thoughts out. But like Xhaka was injured and we had Tierney at left back, but we needed a midfielder. Like, yeah, we held Elneny. In my preview, I said I wouldn't play Elneny. I would have put Xhaka midfield, and so I guess the lineup I made in the preview like just completely went out of the window because Xhaka got injured. But you know, what's to say what's to say Elneny or even Chambers wouldn't have made sense in the middle next to Partey to give him a tiny bit of help, to give us a bit of, you know, dominance in the midfield, because we didn't have a midfield. We had one central midfielder playing. We had two attacking midfielders ahead of him, a right winger, a left winger. Like it just didn't make sense. Like, I definitely have my reservations of Arteta. Like, man, I did back him at the start, and I will continue to get behind him, but I don't think he's good enough. No, I don't think he's good enough. And like, yeah, I mean, I've always said that after Wenger left, I would have brought in Ancelotti or someone, you know, of that caliber, someone who has vast amounts of experience with managing a top club, who could come in and steady the ship. And I wouldn't have, like I said, I wouldn't have appointed Arteta until he had a bit of experience. Like, it's his first job, especially with the structure we have at the club. Edu, you know, rookie, Vinay, a rookie, and just, you know, a board that doesn't really care about football that much. I wouldn't have appointed Arteta in the first place, just because it's such a massive job. We have such a massive problems to fix. So it made no sense giving him the job. But, you know, you don't want to be too negative. You get behind the guy. He showed a bit of promise in that FA Cup run, but, you know, it's not really worked out. So, man, like, yeah, now I'm just waffling and talking about what's not. But, you know, yeah, like I said, this game is pointless. I expect us to, you know, blow West Brom away. If this team plays or something close to this team plays, I very much doubt we're even going to concede. We'll probably beat West Brom 3-0 or something flattering like that. It won't make up for anything. It won't redeem our season. But I hope guys did enjoy this preview. I'm going to be uploading it very, very shortly. Way ahead of time before the actual West Brom match. I'm going to try and make a thumbnail because, yeah, me just uploading it, slapping it on YouTube with no, like, massive editing, it's a bit lazy. I'm not trying to be lazy, but, you know, I want to just give my raw thoughts, as I've said. So yeah, I don't want to add too much editing, but a thumbnail is the bare minimum. So hope guys enjoy this video again, like I've said, and catch me after the game.